I ask you this all the time. How does it feel to be back here on this kind of day?
It's an honor. It's never anything you take for granted. It's never anything that you expect. Everybody says, well, it's not a surprise to you anymore. It's always a surprise. It's always a surprise. It's something you have no control over. You can only, do your work. You can't nominate yourself. You can't vote for yourself. You can just do your work. So it's always a surprise.
Well, let's talk about the work you did this year. Stunning performance in a stunning play. What this nomination means to you coming from that show and what made that show so special for you.
Well, being able to be a part of Adrienne Kennedy's Broadway debut, this is a woman who is 91 years old, and to be able to open the James Earl Jones Theater and bring this particular piece to Broadway, where it's written by a Black woman, centering a Black woman, and sort of delivering an indictment on the destructive nature of systemic racism. It's just, it was so fulfilling. It was one of the highlights of my career to have been able to do this. And so to be recognized in this way is very meaningful. It means a lot. But you know what? If I hadn't been recognized, I would have been equally as fulfilled because it was about the work with this one. It always is, but it really meant something very important to me.
Introducing a young audience to the theater, because I was at your show a few times and I looked at all the young faces there and I said, this is great.
Yes, introduce them to the theater and introduce them to, literally, an icon of a playwright. For them to be able to see themselves up there, a lot of the young people in the audience, there were a lot of young Black women in the audience night after night, and that was incredibly moving to me. And for them to be able to see themselves up there and see Adrienne and be in this theater named for James Earl Jones, very fulfilling.
My final question is, what was the first show that young Audra did when you were really, really young? The first play you ever did, and what would you tell that person now?
I was one of the Siamese children in King and I. So I would say to her, you're not weird. You're hyper for a reason. And that feeling you feel when you're up on the stage, trust that. It's good.